All right, welcome, episode 7 of The Flame. It's finally about that time to discuss the weekly rumors of the week, I guess. I can rephrase that better. But this week, we will be talking about the new released NBA schedule, our key dates to circle to keep an eye on, our early power rankings, the teams to beat, East and West, and the possibility of Embiid coming to Miami, which sounds like a pipe dream, but that's last for a reason. So we got Dilo here, we got Christopher and Yadek.
Good.
Christian might join later on. We'll see. Who knows? But yeah, cannot wait to start this. All right, guys. So we know the NBA schedule came out, and we know how the whole Twitter world, NBA world goes crazy, upset or not, whether they get Christmas games or games maybe specifically on their birthday or something. But what to you are the key dates to circle on this new release schedule?
Honestly, any dates we need to circle is anybody we're going to face in the playoffs. That's basically anybody in the Eastern Conference. It's Celtics, of course. Philly. Philly's a small circle. I'm not really worried about Philly. You know, Philly is Philly. Celtics, Philly. Um, who else is in the East that we worry about? Um,
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. I forgot about them. It's scrubs. Milwaukee. Honestly, that's it. I really fear nobody else in the entire league, really. So honestly, that's really it for me.
Okay. How about you, Christopher?
I mean, you pretty much said the teams that we need to have our main
Remember,
focus on.
remember, try to think about any former Heat players too.
The Lakers, why not? Because of Gabe Vincent.
Right?
Uh,
Why not? Why
Which
not?
still, I never thought I'd be hurt about an undrafted player leaving my team. But
honestly,
only Gabe Vincent can do it to me.
literally, like I thought
No,
about
yeah.
Max Strus leaving, and I low-key got a smile on my face. But then a Lakers fan, a Lakers fan reminded me the other day. He's like, "Oh, you know the new point guards we got Gabe Vincent." And I'm like, "Dang, no, God, like all we had to do was pay the man. He wasn't.
Mhm.
He didn't have a high asking price."
So again, so we mentioned Gabe Vincent. That's at home versus Lakers on November 6th on NBA TV, and then at LA Lakers January 3rd on ESPN. Just to keep an eye on. So those 2 dates. If you're gonna look forward to watching Gabe Vincent against us, those are the 2 dates to keep an eye on. Max Strus as a member of Cleveland versus Miami. We are at Cleveland November 22nd on League Pass. At Cleveland again, March 20th on League Pass. And then at home versus Cleveland. It's only one home game versus Cleveland on March 24th, also on League Pass. So no ESPN games, no TNT games, nothing, just League Pass for Cleveland.
Honestly,
How about
speaking on Cleveland, actually, if we would have ended up going against Cleveland, I wholeheartedly think we would have lost. Cleveland is the only team
in the
that
playoffs?
yes, Cleveland's the only team that seriously worries me because they always play 2 7-footers at a time, and
Mm-hmm.
highest dude we ever have on the court is 6'9". And our worst loss of the season last year was to Cleveland. So honestly, I'm really glad the Knicks handled them, before we had to go against them. So honestly, sir, I'm gonna circle Cleveland too because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
How
Yeah.
about you? How about you, your deck?
Personally, me, I don't know about my personal opinion. I wasn't worried about Cleveland myself, especially when they was having trouble with the Knicks. But it is what it is. A date that I would like to circle, I guess. I don't know how the NBA did it, but they have a national game against Portland coming up after the
Mm-hmm.
trade deadline. Uh,
Which, yeah,
the scripts are being written properly right now, man. I mean, I feel like everything's
exactly.
being lined up for a reason. Something's happening. Something big's happening. Even the NBA knows. Even Adam Silver knows. So I'm just waiting for that. Everything's gonna line up properly soon, and then once we get Dame,
D-Dollar.
it's over. It's basically
And
over for them.
yep. And in that case, if anyone is curious or never knew, we are at home versus Portland, only on League Pass on March 29th. And wait, so yeah, March 29th. And we are at Portland a few days after the trade deadline. That's the only game on TNT. February 27th on
That's a
TNT.
national televised game.
That's Portland's only one too against Miami, which is suspicious a little bit. We
Something's
also
brewing.
have our
Something's brewing.
NBA Finals rematch against Denver. We are first in Denver February 29th on TNT, and then home against Denver March 13th, a few years before my birthday, on ESPN. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Honestly, the season series, I think we go 1-1. Because honestly, going to Denver is a high chance we lose because who really wins in Denver? But I'll say, which game is first? The one we go to Denver first.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, we're definitely gonna win in Miami because that's what we do. We protect home court. So I feel like that season series is just gonna go 1-1.
have you seen our game 3 and 4s in Miami though in the finals? I'm just saying.
Oh man, I mean we might have Tyler Hero this time, so we'll see.
Might, yeah, put a little star next to that. Another key dates to look out for: Milwaukee, who we knocked out in the first round, as I guess people would say upset for some reason. We are in Milwaukee on October 30th on League Pass, at home against Milwaukee November 28th, and that's part of the in-season tournament, which I'm still confused about, on TNT, and then at Milwaukee, so 3 games against them. At Milwaukee again on February 13th, only League Pass. How about that matchup for y'all?
I'm really not worried about Milwaukee per se because it's really like the same plan we should have had against the Nuggets is stop Giannis, which we did in the playoffs. We stopped Giannis and let everybody else sink the boat. So honestly, that's really all we got to do. And I wholeheartedly believe Bam one-on-one can lock Giannis 10 out of 10 times. So as long as Bam does his job against Giannis, it's a dub.
For sure.
100% not worried about that.
100%.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
To me, we have 3 important matchups against Boston, all on nationally televised. First matchup is in Boston, October 27th. That's I guess our first road game, which is our second game of the season already. You know, I think our first back-to-back is literally games 2 and 3 of the season for us, which is ridiculous already.
Yep.
But at Boston,
Minnesota.
October 27th on ESPN, of course. And then we have 2 more games at home against Boston. The first one on January 25th on TNT, and the last one on February 11th on ABC. So I'm pretty sure Boston and their fans remember how they would let go in the playoffs, and we have to be aware that they're coming for revenge, payback, and this is without Gabe Vincent for us. So which is crazy that I'm saying that. So we gotta be ready for any bad blood they got for us.
I mean, speaking of the back-to-back against Boston and Minnesota, another team I'm lucky we don't ever have to play in the playoffs is Minnesota. We never beat Minnesota, ever. We never win
Yeah,
against
no, we
Minnesota.
don't. We don't.
I don't know how. Because I wouldn't say the roster is mediocre, but they're not better than us. But we never win against Minnesota, ever. Ever. I know what? How can we even play against Minnesota?
Edwards always cooks us.
Literally.
Edwards always cooks
Speaking
us.
of, but the only time I'm happy that he cooked was today for Team USA. That's the only time I'm happy that he cooked.
Hey, man, I watched the game today. That boy went crazy, man. He did his thing. Yeah, we only played Minnesota twice. I promise you we're going to go 0-2, man. I promise you.
No, I think we split it. We split it. I think we split it.
I believe we split it.
I hope so.
No,
I'm
I believe if we win one on the road in Minnesota, I have no doubt with Dame, we win at home against Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Just
for sure.
Imagine all the half-court shots he takes and actually makes. I'm just waiting for the time where any moment in these games with Lillard, when he knows it's Dame time, every fan does this with him. I'm looking forward to this so much.
Oh, I cannot wait, man. I wish I could see me the day that I went on Instagram and saw Dame requested a trade to Miami Heat. I literally ran up and down my house. I was so excited.
This is the one thing I'm actually blessed about my skills in Photoshop. Just yesterday or today, I'm not sure you guys saw this, I posted on my story a Photoshop picture of Lillard following me on Instagram because Twitter, there's this trend going on that he unfollowed Portland. Someone put that he followed Miami, which was fake. So all the other Heat accounts on Twitter and Instagram are photoshopping their names on his following list. So I went on the trend. Today, I got 50 DMs asking or saying congrats to me. So I had to go through most of them saying it was just a prank, bro.
You got
That's how
me.
that's how good my skills are in Photoshop.
You got me.
I actually thought it was true. I was like,
You
damn,
got me.
they got Dame Lillard on this.
Oh my god! Even my brother thought it was real too, which is hilarious,
It was a good Photoshop. Yeah, I
right?
give it to you. That was a good Photoshop.
I mean, 8 years of Photoshop gotta be worth it.
It definitely got me.
So your deck, give me your thoughts on the Christmas game this year against Philadelphia. What do you think about that?
First and foremost, go ahead, your dad.
I'm pretty glad we have a Philly game, a Christmas game finally. I mean, like I feel like we should have been had one. Miami's a city to be at during the holidays too.
And one thing, can you speak towards the mic a little bit closer to the mic?
Yeah, my fault. My computer's acting.
You good?
So, like I said, it's been a minute since Miami had a Christmas game. I was hoping we had one before, like the last 3 years, but we didn't, unfortunately. And I don't understand why, since Miami's a place to be during the holidays. Weather's great and everything like that. I feel like the revenue, the NBA could definitely get the revenue from that. But we got it now. They're finally recognizing us as a team that's not underrated anymore. But I actually can't wait, bro. I might actually go to that. Is it Miami, right? It's gotta be Miami.
It's in Miami, of course. Yes.
Yep.
I gotta go to that one. I'm probably gonna buy the tickets right after this, man. I
Wait
promise.
a minute.
You can get them tickets, man.
Honestly, I feel the same way. Like we should have. I thought we was gonna get one after the 2022 run. I was like, oh, we're for sure gonna have a Christmas game. Like we were in the Eastern Conference Finals. We were the only team in the Eastern Conference Finals that didn't get one. I was so blown. Like, how do you not give Miami a Christmas game, especially after how well we've been doing? It's honestly about, like your deck is about time, man. We should get one next year too, and the year before that. Obviously, in the year before that. I mean, so.
Well, for me, for one, first of all, I am happy we got a game on Christmas, even though I'm probably the only one who doesn't want a game on Christmas, only because I'm someone who likes to enjoy the NBA, the holidays, instead of always like rooting for my team to win. Like, I'm always focused on my team, making sure they win the holidays. When the whole 3 years, between 3 years, whatever, we had no game Christmas, I was actually relieved because I got to enjoy the holidays instead of focusing on the game or focusing on the content for the game. So I'm happy we got a game, but I personally would have hoped we would not have, just so I could be with my family and enjoy time. But now I gotta watch the game, make content the whole time, and it can be time consuming, but it's gotta be worth it, right? I guess.
Exactly.
And I do wish we had Boston, or I do wish we were any team besides Philadelphia, because yes, I guess Embiid, Butler, their friendship, whatever, the memes we have with Butler and Philadelphia, I guess it is kind of like a game to watch, obviously, but why Philadelphia, man? I'm not a fan of that matchup. I'm not.
That's a free double mine.
It's gonna be easy beating.
It's an easy beat, man.
I believe that, but I don't like that it's against Philadelphia. I don't like it. That's just me. And okay, let's move on to NBA Rivals Week, January 22nd until the 27th. Heat Celtics on Thursday, January 25th. What do you guys think?
Wasn't last year during Rivals Week we had the same matchup?
I think so.
It's the best rivalry of the decade. What can I say?
I mean, honestly, I feel like that might be our most watched game of the season, just because for some reason we let them come back 3-1, which tidbit off that, we shouldn't even let them come back 3-1 because the anticipation of being the first team ever to blow a 3-0 lead did my heart so bad. Did my heart so terrible. I was so anxious. The whole entire 48 hours up into that game. I'm glad we went in and did what we had to do. But I mean, honestly, yeah, we should go in. We should go in and win that game. Honestly, because we got Haywood Locksmith who's going to lock down Jason Tatum. I mean,
He actually could. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm honestly liking his development. I used to hate
He's
the
nice.
guy.
He's nice.
But
Yeah.
after that little plug steal highlight he got,
I just don't understand how it makes those threes with that kind of release. I don't.
He's
If it ain't broke, don't break. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. That's
Hey
how it-
man, y'all see
Hey,
Tyrese?
yeah, that's true.
No, but yeah, it should be a cool, smooth game. You know, hopefully I'm not gonna have to yell at my TV too much, but you know, should be a good dub.
Do you know also, I'm speaking of the time when we almost blew that freaking 3-0 lead. My first time going to the matchup against Boston, my first time going during the playoff run, that was the start, I believe, of our scary 3-0, like, you know, the 3-0 like loss or whatever you call it. That was the start of when Boston was beginning a comeback. My first time ever in the playoffs was that kind of game.
Oh, so you went to that game?
I went to that game where I guess Boston went on a huge run, and then after that it was like 3-1. That was the first game I went to in the playoffs. I mean, it was a good atmosphere, but the fact that I was there for the start of what we could be on the wrong side of history was kind of embarrassing.
Dude, I was hoping for the sweep so bad. I was praying for that
Would have
sweep.
been
Yeah,
nice.
but against
It really
Boston,
would've been
that's gonna be long. That's gonna be. It's very tough to try to complete a series in the playoffs against any team because that's when the team's most desperate to win. So, yes, Boston had a new coach, but with those players around that coach, they were on desperate mode. So you can expect it to be that easy to win against Boston and sweep. I did not. We got Heat Knicks. So, which rivalry matchup is bigger and most likely to be watched by more? Heat Celtics or Heat Knicks?
He's Celtics.
Yeah, maybe
Celtics
that's
is
even a
fair.
conversation.
Dude, screw
Heat
the Knicks.
Celtics?
The Knicks suck.
The Knicks suck.
He suck.
Nah,
Simple as
putting
that.
putting
my
the Knicks
friend-
and Boston in the same conversation is kind of crazy when you
It
think
is
about
crazy. Yeah, I guess the Knicks are a bigger tier.
The Knicks are garbage. I say this every year. The Knicks are garbage. I'm
Julius Randle's
surprised.
a fraud. Julius Randle's a fraud.
Like,
No. Only against us, he's not. Against us,
only
he's
against
fun.
us, he plays good, man. Oh, I know y'all remember that game winner he gets us during the regular season, bro.
That was BS.
He only plays good against us. Like, what is up with players having a vendetta
Wait.
against Miami?
Are you talking about that one, like that one 3-point like shot he made going to out of bounds
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
when he lost the ball
Playoffs,
first?
Literally, he got the ball stripped and collected it and threw it up, bro.
I felt like he got clamped up during the playoffs, though. He didn't do much in the playoffs.
Yeah, he didn't do much in the playoffs.
Where's Jalen Brunson?
He didn't. I mean,
Brunson
it
cooked
was,
us.
it was Brunson and Josh Hart. Josh Hart ruined it for us.
Josh Hart,
Man,
screw that guy.
Josh Hart didn't
hurt
even
Jimmy.
play good.
He hurt Jimmy. Screw him.
That's all he did. That's all he did. He's our best
Screw
player.
him.
Literally, we had an answer for everything else, any of their schemes. The only person we couldn't figure out was Jalen Brunson. That was it. It shouldn't even have went to do 2 games. If Gabe Vincent would have did what he was supposed to do against Jalen Brunson, we would have swept him, man.
Yeah.
How
I
about
agree.
this? Which is the better rival matchup other than the Heat? Two options: Dallas Phoenix, Lakers Warriors.
Honestly, I like Dallas Phoenix more because the only reason why Lakers Warriors would even be a rivalry is because LeBron and Curry. But other than that, I wouldn't even watch that. But Dallas Phoenix is very funny because Dallas Mavericks own the Phoenix Suns. They own them big time.
I feel like you meant to say that Luka owns the Suns, man. Luka's the one cooking for real, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You can
That
imagine.
man is unbelievable.
Devin Booker has to stop talking, man. He gotta stop talking.
By the way, before we were talking about a Christmas game for Philadelphia, our other games for Philadelphia, we were at Philadelphia February 14th. That's on Valentine's Day, I think, which is the city of brotherly love. Does that make sense? On League Pass. And then again at Philadelphia March 18th, ESPN. And the last matchup is at home last month, April 4th on TNT. All right. So we finally discussed part of the schedule. So before we move on, are there any other dates that you want our fans to know about before we move on?
Honestly, not dates really. I'm just hoping we get the friendly whistle this year because no matter what the analytics say, no matter how many free throws we got, it doesn't matter. I really feel like the refs were against our side the entire season.
I agree.
Absolutely,
I
the
agree.
entire season.
Yeah.
I was getting very upset at some games because of the West whistle. So now that we made the finals, hopefully, Adam Silver putting the good word for us, so we get a couple more whistles, man. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So we passed the first portion of this, which is the NBA schedule. Now we're moving on to our, which we kind of discussed already, but let's just see what else we can do. The teams to beat first will go in the East. I want each of you guys to give me the top 3 or top 5 teams to look out for in the East.
I got 5 for you.
Go
Number
for it.
5, I have the Knicks. Only because we went against them in the playoffs. If we didn't face them in the playoffs, they wouldn't even be in my radar because once again the Knicks suck. But I mean, they did take us to 2 games more than Milwaukee, so I will give them that. Number 4, I have Philly. Honestly, I'm not worried about Philly either. Philly sucks, especially since they might lose James Harden. Let's see
They might. Yeah.
if the NBA
Right.
sends them a memo. Let's see.
Yeah.
Philly sucks. Joel Embiid is a fraud against us. So, I mean, but they are one of the top teams in the East. They just can't beat us. So they are a team to look out for within the East. Number 3, I have the Cavs. Because honestly, the Cavs are the only team I'm honestly 100% worried about us losing to. Because after that one game where the Cavs literally demolished us by 30, like I've been turning around my back for the Cavs ever since. We'll see against our first game. It might change my mind, but from then on, I'm legitimately worried about the Cavaliers. Number 2, I have the Celtics. Once again, the Celtics really shouldn't have won as many games as they did to bring us back. We should have swept them when we had the chance. I don't know what we did wrong. I don't know how they were coming back. I don't know what voodoo they did, but that shouldn't have happened. I don't want to see that anymore. I really wasn't worried. I thought we should have won every game, but I don't know. They had to fight. They had determination. They had that dog in them. So props to them. Maybe they got it next year. Doubt it. Number 1, of course, the Bucks. I mean, I can't ever really discredit the Bucks because they did sweep us 2021. Granted, we had the least amount of time to recover during the offseason out of anybody else. So I mean, they might have that over us, but I mean, they did sweep us. Bucks always give us a run for the money. Bucks is always a good game, and once again, they have Mr. Run and Dunk Man. So what can you really do? Also, Chris Middleton. I'm worried about Chris Middleton more than I'm worried about Giannis. Chris Middleton is a legitimately skilled player. Like, we have nobody on the floor besides Jimmy Butler that can guard Chris Middleton. And 9 times out of 10, Jimmy Butler isn't guarding Chris Middleton for some reason. So that's really all I'm worried about. Hopefully Grayson Allen plays against us so, he can sabotage whatever they got going on. But that's my top 5. I'm really just legitimately worried about the Cavaliers and kind of the Bucks. I would have put Cavaliers number 1, but they have no accolades. So what am I really worried about?
I mean, if I want to start off, I'll start off with number 1 and say, me personally, I think the Celtics are more of a threat than the Bucks because they're more of a complete team. They got a great depth in their bench. They added Porzingis, so if he stays healthy, this team's gonna be lethal.
I forgot.
7'3" center who could shoot kind of like 30 feet from the basket. Yeah, think about that. He's kind of underrated now that we think about it. That's my number 1. Most worried. I say number 2. I have to give it to the Bucks. Like D'Lo said, man. My top 3, his top 3 is kind of the same except the placement. But the Bucks, Giannis, man. He's a hustler. He's really a culture type of guy if you really think about it, man. But really, I ain't gonna speak too much into that. But he's a great person, champion, Finals MVP, and his team is everybody around him is shooters, man. Even as bad as what Grayson Allen did, he's a great shooter though. If you gotta think about it, wouldn't be bad to have him on your team as a shooter. And but anyways, number 3, I have to agree with D'Lo on the Cavs, man. They did give us a run for our money during the regular season. I didn't see too much in the playoffs, obviously. To Jared Allen, the lights were too bright for him, so I don't know, man. It's a different spotlight when you play in the playoffs, Number 4, I might have to say the Hawks. And the reason why I say the Hawks is, they actually have a decent squad, and I like Trae Young. I like the way he plays for his team. We do have a plan for him. You've seen it firsthand before. We had one of the worst series in his career, in his young career. So it might be the worst series he had in his whole career by the time it's said and done. So look out for the Hawks because Trae Young did give us 50 one time in the regular season, or 45, something like that, man. He's still a bucket getter even though we have a plan for him. But number 5, I don't want to say the Knicks because I don't really fear the Knicks. When I hear the Knicks, I literally when we had the series against the Knicks and the analysts were saying, they have a chance to win, bro. I promise you, the Knicks did not put no fear in my heart. I was like, we're winning this. I didn't even watch the fourth quarter sometimes. I think in one game at least because I already knew we got it under control. We won in 6, which I was confused, but I already knew we was gonna win in 5 or 6. So if I had to. I have to really think a little bit.
The Knicks put zero fear in my heart, man. To this day.
I promise you, they never put no fear in my heart.
No.
Is there, I don't know. I really only got a top 4 right now that I could think oh shoot,
That's
I
fine.
have to think about them. Right now, I can't think of a 5 that really say I gotta worry about them. Maybe I'll think about it after Chris says something, man. Go ahead.
All right. I'll say at number 5. I'll say the Nets. They're a young team.
Yes.
They're a young team
About the Nets.
that always beats us in the
Oh,
regular season.
God, I remember that
Always
big
do.
40 piece.
Yep.
Any one of them can drop a 40 piece on us. Any one of them. We leave them open one night.
All right. Here's my top 5. Also in no particular order. At 5, I actually have Philadelphia because, the whole James Harden situation, you never know how the whole chemistry of the team could be, how awkward it could be inside the organization. And we beat them in the playoffs before. We could do it again. And who knows what will happen with the chemistry? Who knows how? Don't they have a new coach now?
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
the coach from the Raptors.
Right. So
Silas?
new coach.
No, not Raptors.
No, Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse. There you go.
Why not see
So-
Silas? I'm tripping.
New coach. The whole James Harden situation, making it awkward inside the whole team, that could affect everyone with the chemistry. So don't underestimate that part. That's 5 for me, Philadelphia. 4, I do have actually, believe it or not, Milwaukee at 4 because again, new coach. Milton just coming back. You never know how he's gonna play, good or bad. And we beat them in 5. So I have no doubt that we could beat them in 5 to 7 again if we play the same way. I do know we had no Gabe Vincent, no Struz, whatever, but we got Thomas Bryant, Jay Rich, Orlando Robinson, Nikola Jovic, and we might be adding Dame. So I'm feeling confident against Milwaukee. I think we can beat them in 6 or 7. We gotta see first. It's hard to win with a new coach because you have to build trust with them, and it's obviously hard to make a nice comeback when you're coming off an injury with rehab like Milton is. He is a great player, but you never know if they'll be the same. Like Klay Thompson was, right? Like Klay Thompson coming back from a huge injury, he was struggling at first, but we all know what kind of player he is. But Milton is different here, a little bit lower of a tier, so that's also something to look at. So that's a 4 for me. At 3, I have the Knicks. The Knicks, they have the most annoying fan base. They have Julius Randle always finds a way to put a 50 piece against us to win. They have Josh Hart, who likes to injure players, and they have Jalen Brunson, who can't seem to miss in the mid range.
He literally
So
could use a floater against him.
right.
That floater,
So
man.
so those three players is the reason why I'm putting Knicks that high on my list at 3. At 2, I do have surprisingly, even though they did finish kind of worse than us, the Toronto Raptors. If they make the playoffs,
I don't
even.
think so.
If they make the playoffs even, and we're against them, the length is the one thing that makes me worried. Just the length.
It might go to 7. It might go to 7.
Right.
We kind of match up bad against them because of the
We
height.
do.
Yeah.
Toronto always fights against us,
Right.
man.
Toronto / Chicago. Even because Chicago almost ended our season. Remember the plan?
Yeah.
We were like what 10 points down with 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
I mean, if Chicago had Alonzo, I'd think about that, but
They would be nasty.
That's
that
true.
team would be
But
nasty.
they have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso. That to me is a mid big 3. But I wouldn't worry about Chicago that much.
Vucevic? He's not part of the big 3?
No.
Nah.
This is just a damn son, bro.
Nah. Him and Randall only go hard against us. Vucevic is not that kind of guy.
Vucevic is trash, bro. Every time Vucevic goes against Bam, Bam dogs him every time, bro.
Or Brook Lopez, he still has some kind of fear, or at least used to have some fear against Lopez, but he did play much better this year against him in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I do hope Bam finds a 3-point shot like he does in the Pro League, but
Literally.
only time will tell.
The thing about it is, Bam has that arsenal in his game. He can shoot
does.
the three.
I know.
It's just-
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't. I don't know if it's a Coach Spo thing. I don't know if it's a game plan thing. But Bam has it in his arsenal. If Bam shot
Yeah.
just 3
I need
threes a
two.
game,
2
exactly,
a game. 2 a game.
literally 2 a game
I'll
works
count
for
with that.
me.
You know,
He could
to
go
me,
over 3 every time. I'll still
you know,
take it.
To me, it might be a game plan type of thing because you notice their game plans, they always run pick and rolls. Always. That or the 2-3 zone for defense. Well, that's defense, but on offense, they're always looking for either a spot shooter or pick and roll for Bam and Duncan or whatever. I never see, or a Bam ISO, but I never see Bam like getting that open area for 3-point range to shoot the opponent unless you're at the Pro League or a preseason game. But he does shoot it when the buzzer's about to go off. When the buzzer
that's
goes
the only
off,
time.
he has the
It's
ball.
chicken.
I mean, he's hit it last season or 2 years ago, almost every single buzzer beater, a 3-pointer, whether it's a fadeaway or a spot up 3. Because at that point, you're trying to chuck it up, hope it goes in, and they just happen to go in.
Literally.
Whether it's just hitting that off backboard, whatever. But Spoelstra has to find a way to make Bam shoot the 3, because imagine how much they'll help us for space.
If the shot clock is 3 or less and Bam shooting the 3, it's going in.
I said Toronto / Chicago at number 2, right? Was that 2 for me?
Mhm.
Yeah. That was the 2.
All right. At 1, I think we all agree it's Boston.
It's Boston.
I mean, their coach. I mean, Boston did lose Marcus Smart. I believe they lost Derek White as well, right?
No.
Nah.
Or just a
He's
free
going to be
agent.
the starting point guard.
Okay, gotcha. So Marcus Smart to me is the biggest loss, but they have Kristaps Porzingis. If he can stay healthy, he has the 3-point shot, he has the mid-range shot, and the post offense and everything. But the one concern is, I guess, the injuries, because a guy like him, one injury could be like Anthony Davis length. You never know what can happen.
Mhm.
But they have Jaylen Brown, who signed a huge contract extension, like ridiculous. They have JT,
Overpay.
who can go
Over.
left, right? They have JT. They have Robert Williams, who Bam is afraid of, and they have Al Horford, I believe, still. So that team is still complete-ish, even though they lost Marcus Smart. That coach is pretty damn good, so I wouldn't underestimate that team just yet. So, and that team almost made the huge historic comeback in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh,
So I'm not ruling Boston out at all. That's my top 5. Dilo, let's do your top 5 for the West.
Top five for the West. I'm gonna go down. Number one is Minnesota. I'm always worried about Minnesota whenever we play against them. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Ever since Anthony Edwards got that offensive foul on Gabe Vincent, I've always been worried about Minnesota. They play extra well against us for no reason. So that's number one. Number two, honestly, it's gonna do no order. I'm gonna do Phoenix.
Yeah.
Granted, I know we're not going to lose against Phoenix, but they are going to give us a run against our money just because Jimmy Butler blocked Devin Booker last season. He always has something to say. He always has a chip on his shoulder for some reason. So they are going to play overly aggressive just at that point. So I'm gonna throw Phoenix in there. Lake Show, for some reason against the Lakers, we never match up well against the Lakers either, and they got Gabe into now, which I mean. Hopefully, the Heat role player curse still, goes into effect whenever a Heat player is doing so well in Miami and they go to a different team and they stink. So hopefully the curse lives on and Gabe Vincent goes like 2 for 12 like he did with us at some point. Hopefully that happens. Number three, I'm gonna go. Let me think West. I really can't think who honestly gives us a problem in the West.
The defending champions, my boy.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh my God! I see. I try to push that part out of my brain just because of how bad we lost. I really don't like. I really don't like to think about the
Can't
Nuggets.
even blame you, bro. Can't even blame
Exactly.
Yeah.
Numero uno. Nuggets and whatnot. We still don't got an answer for them. I don't know what to do against them yet. I mean, besides put Bam on Jokic and everybody else do your best. I mean. I still don't know. I still don't know what we need to do. I mean, PNR, they figured it out. Pick and fade, they figured it out. Dribble handoff, they figured it out. Like, you can't double Jokic. He's going to pass out. You can't play him one-on-one. He's going to get a bucket. You can't leave him open. Somehow he can shoot the three. Like, and not to mention his co-stars and role players just somehow play to his level. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, somehow KCP, it's it's crazy. Like, how did we lose to KCP twice now? It makes no sense.
Yeah, actually. Right.
Nuggets is up there. Nuggets numero uno. Who else we got in the West?
Golden State.
I was gonna say Golden State. I have a cousin that's a Golden State Warriors fan. We tune in every game, and we usually tie the season series with the Warriors. Either we lose it or we tie it. We lost it 2 seasons ago. We tied it last season. Funny story. We had the same record as them this year. So that's a little tidbit. Warriors, of course, because the Warriors definitely match up well against them because the Miami Heat for some reason just let people shoot. Like, I don't know what our deal is. Unless it's like 5 seconds or less on the clock, we're gonna let you shoot that three, which I don't understand that. But that happens. The Warriors. And number 5, I'm gonna give it to the Portland Trailblazers just for jokes, I guess. Hopefully we steal their franchise player. If not, they're probably gonna play semi-aggressive against us. Just to show, just to stick it to all the Heat fans. Like, we didn't want Tyler Hero, even though he's like the best player on their team. But whatever.
Gotcha. Christopher.
All right. I'll say at number 5, the Mavericks. Luka always torches us somehow, some way. He torches every team. So.
Right, but if you watch those games against Mavericks, Spoelstra always has a plan to constantly double team him. He always has to give the ball up. So for him to even put up 20 points, he has to put constant circuit shots somehow because we're always double teaming him. So to see him put up 30 points against us is kind of rare unless he's playing in Dallas.
And they do have Kyrie now. So
they do have Kyrie now. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So it makes it harder now.
I'll say at number 4, I'll say the Warriors. The Warriors. Curry always puts on a show against us. Klay is still a great shooter. Draymond, great defender. they still have a solid team, and they could really make a run. I'll say at 3. I'll say the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say the Lakers. They really did improve during free agency, and it's very surprising. It's just the Lakers, like they don't do shit. But as long as you have LeBron, you're gonna compete,
Even at 38.
Let's see. At 2, I'll say the Kings.
I was gonna say,
I'll
yeah.
say the Kings. I'll say the Kings. The Aaron Fox is that guy. He is that guy in the 4.
He's the best player.
He is their best player. I don't believe in Sabonis though. Sabonis is garbage. Bam is better. All right. This is what we're gonna say.
I mean,
but
yeah, that's obvious.
Garbage, but I don't know about garbage, but but Bam's definitely 100% better.
Yeah, I don't know why that was an argument at one point that Sabonis was on a comparable level with Bam. I was so confused about that. Like, what are you talking about here?
I don't know, but the Kings are probably gonna make a good run next year since they already had a playoff experience this past season. And then at number 1, obviously, I'm gonna go with the defending champs, the Nuggets. Come on, we really can't stop Jokic. Like,
I'm trying to figure out who can stop. I'm trying to figure out who can stop Jokic. Honestly,
I'm still.
No one can.
No
one
have
can.
Have you seen that one game where I think Davis tried to block him? His hand was in Jokic's face. Jokic was like a fadeaway 3-pointer, and AD stared him down. Like, are you serious? The whole world had the same reaction.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, bro.
It's just one of those moments where you just look like, what else? Like, what else can I do? Like, what else do you want me to do, Coach? Like,
I mean, if you have to hurt him, no, I'm kidding.
You had to hurt him.
Nah, it's insane.
Yeah,
obviously, I'll start by going from 1 to 5. Obviously, the Denver Nuggets. We all said the Denver Nuggets. So not much to say,
Yeah.
But other than having, the real MVP in Jokic, you have great support players in Jamal Murray, Michael never passed the ball, Porter Jr. You
shot clock ends here.
Exactly. They had a great team. Bruce Brown showed up. Their rookie showed up.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That game pissed me off. That game pissed me off.
Oh my god!
That was just to see a mean mug made me want to turn the game off.
It was just
like,
crazy.
Y'all couldn't stop the rookie?
I was kind of confused, pissed off.
And wasn't Butler guarding him too?
Yes. I was just about to say that.
Butler guarded him like in the end, and like the last 2 possessions, he still scored. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, he still scored on him. That's just crazy.
I was just confused with what's
going Christian Braun. This is what we're doing here. Christian Braun. We couldn't stop him.
I'm gonna blame Buzz ankle for that poor defense.
That boy's a tough player. In the end of the day, he's a hustle player and a tough player, I believe. I actually like how he plays. I like it when he plays.
Yes, you. Which meme mug was more hilarious? Christian Braun or Doug Robinson?
Man, you know my answer, man. You know my answer, man.
Come on.
Duncan was funny, honestly, man.
Yeah, this is like
he made
number 1 Duncan fan here.
In Denver, Duncan made that layup, whatever.
Yeah,
it reminded me of Heroes from the bubble.
Yeah, Hero made an N1.
Yeah, that was the N1. Yeah, that was the N1, and yes, that was against Lakers. That was in the bubble, but he was Hero. Seeing Duncan do it, it's a whole different story.
That boy Duncan had to lay up on Jeff Green. Had to lay up on Jeff, man. Hell yeah, that boy had me hype at the crib.
That boy tough, man. I like his playoff performance this year, honestly. But if I gotta go with number 2 easily, I wouldn't say easily. I'll just bring up the fact that LeBron's still in the league, about to go to number 21, 22, man. This man still dominating, man. And like Chris said, if Bron's on your team, you're always competing, man. He makes his team better all the time. Gives everybody a chance to succeed, man. And it's really up to his teammates if they want to succeed, basically, man. Because Bron's gonna give it to you. If I got Bron, number 3, I'm gonna have to give it to the Phoenix Suns because it's a good trio they have. Not that much defense per se when you think about it, but they have a good trio in Beal, Booker, and Durant, and they still managed to have DeAndre Ayton, who I think is kind of made in my
He's
opinion.
mid.
But he,
He's
but
very
he's
mid
still
in my
he's
opinion.
he's still there. You feel me? He's still there. He could still give you a mid range. So like, it's still a good team overall. Their starting lineup is gonna be full of scorers basically, and Josh Okogie, bro.
And they
Probably
have a new
Josh.
coach, no?
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, who?
They have a new coach, right?
Um,
Yeah, Monty Williams went to Detroit. If
They
I'm not
did.
wrong.
Yeah.
right.
Who do they have, bro?
Doc Rivers, I think.
Doc
I think. Wait, which team again? Which team?
The
Suns.
Suns?
Suns, I believe. No, it's not Doc Rivers. Is it the Doc Rivers?
No, you
I
worry, but
think. Let me check. I think it's Doc Rivers.
Oh, it's Frank Vogel. Oh my God,
Yes,
no.
yes. Doc Rivers was in talks, but he backed out.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. So
Frank
yeah,
Vogel. Wow.
Frank
I,
Vogel is
so,
pretty good as a coach. I mean, like,
in my opinion, we did see him last in the bubble where he beat us,
Yeah.
but I personally am kind of glad he's back in the league. He's a good coach, in my opinion. I like him.
Yeah, he's a decent coach.
yeah, he's straight. He had no, that was somebody else, but yeah, he's a good coach overall, man. Anyways, number 3. Was I number 2? Yeah, I was on number 2. So number 3, I'm gonna have to. I'm on number 4 actually. I said the Nuggets, Lakers, and now the Phoenix
The
Suns.
Suns.
Uh, I kind of want to put. I guess I could also agree that the Warriors are a threat. They're always going to be a threat when you have the three core that won them 4 titles, I believe, man. I mean, Draymond's still aging. I don't know. Honestly, this man's in it for the money because, realistically speaking, he could have asked less and, probably than somebody else. But they got CP3. I don't know how that's going to work. But CP3 is still, the point guard in our generation, one of the best point guards in our generation. And now another point guard in Steph Curry with him, too. They're both together. I don't know how it's going to work, honestly, but you can't count him out. CP3, without the titles, he still makes his team better to an extent. You know what I'm saying? They always make. I haven't seen him miss the playoffs. If I don't remember, he brought an OKC team to the playoffs. Remember that? Like, can't count out CP3, man. So, a great team. Number 5, I'm gonna throw in a wild card and say the OKC. So I'm not saying they're the
Ooh.
biggest threat. I feel like there's probably other.
OKC.
I feel like there is other threats.
OKC.
I know there's other threats, but just to think about the fact that Shea Gilgeous is coming out of a 30-point season, coming out with vengeance. I know he wants to go back to the play. He wants to go to the playoffs for real. And Chet's gonna play his first season. You have Josh Giddey, who's a great passer and scorer and of everything. You have Luke Dort, who's a beast on
And
defense.
they made the plan too. The plan. That's
They
the
were in the
start.
yeah, exactly. They was in the plans. I know they want to go to the playoffs this time, and I feel like they got the pieces to make that happen.
They honestly do.
Yeah,
And
they do.
sooner or later, with the amount of first round picks they have, they're gonna trade that one time for a star, and there's the dynasty's gonna start soon over there in OKC. Hopefully, that's after Jimmy retires and things like that. When we win 2 or 3 championships, I'm just saying. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know, but I kind of see that happening. But yeah, I'll say that's my 5, and I brought out the Thunders because I think that's a team to watch for sure as they keep on growing better and better every year.
All right. My top 5. This time I'm not going to give any reasoning because we do have to speed this up a little bit. My top 5 in no order. Obviously, Denver Nuggets beat us in the finals. Give them their respect. I have the Phoenix Suns. They still have a player, Bradley Beal. They have Kevin Durant, Dan Booker, DeAndre Ayton. They have my 2 key lineup right there. Go State Warriors. Curry could light it up any moment he wants. Klay Thompson, Jalen Green, Andrew Wiggins, even. That's all I gotta say for that. Yeah, I guess Lakers. Like you guys said, if you have LeBron, always got a chance to win, no matter what. Austin Reeves, Team USA, playing really well right now, so watch out for that player specifically too. Anthony Davis, training and everything, he's getting stronger. Hopefully, less injuries for him. Going to be a huge improvement. That was 3, right? 4, I do have the Kings. They made the playoffs after the long drought. De'Aaron Fox young team, fast, skilled, and the fan base is incredible. So watch out for the Kings. And last but not least, I personally have even the. I was going to say Memphis, but I'm going to the Clippers. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard,
Clippers.
When
both
healthy,
LA teams.
When healthy, they're good.
Exactly. When healthy, especially Kawhi Leonard, whenever healthy, he could easily score.
Yeah.
That
Also
man,
have them leading when healthy.
yes, that's my 5. Denver, Lakers, Clippers, Golden State, and the Kings to look out for. Or teams to beat, I guess.
most definitely.
Okay. All right. Next segment. This time, we gotta try to speed this up because our early power rankings, East and West. D'Lo, go first.
My bias power rankings. Obviously, I should have us number 1 because we came out of the East, which isn't even biased. It's really logical.
Yeah.
We came
Fine,
out of the
just
East, like
realistically.
really. I know, yeah. Realistically,
Mhm.
obviously they're gonna have the Celtics number 1 because they were the runner-ups in the East, and it's the Celtics because what else are they gonna do? Number 2, they're gonna have the Milwaukee. Number 3, they're gonna put Philly. Number 4, they're gonna have the Cavs. They might even put the Knicks at 5 and put us at 6.
I
But
believe that.
exactly. But I'm just gonna hope and put my best foot forward. My personal rankings, I feel like they would put us at 5. I mean, deservingly, we should be higher than 5, but they are gonna put us at 5.
Right.
West, of course, is gonna be the Nuggets.
I'm sorry, I meant 1 to 8.
1 to 8. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, yeah, they might put the Knicks at 6. Not Knicks. The Knicks at 5, us at 6, and then Cavs, Philly, or Philly Cavs, either one or. But honestly, that's my power ranking that they might do. I mean, they might put us even further down beyond that because it's Miami. We were the A. They're the AC. They were the AC.
How about
We
Brooklyn? Where you see Brooklyn, Chicago?
Brooklyn, Chicago. Honestly, Brooklyn might get that A spot over Philly just because of how Philly folded against the Celtics. But at the end of the day, it's a power ranking, so I might have the Nets might be 9/10. Just because I don't even think they made the play-in nor playoffs. So
And Philadelphia, you said it was what seed? Early rankings?
they're gonna have Philadelphia at 4.
Okay. Christopher?
No, I lied. I said that I had them at 3 because there's gonna be
Right.
Celtics, Bucks, Philly, Cavs, then us, and or Knicks. The 5, 6 flip that position. 7. Oh, I'm tripping. 7 might be Nets, and then 8. Who could they put for 8?
8 could be the Pacers, maybe.
Could be the Hawks. The Hawks.
Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks. Actually, the Hawks would be 8, and then the rest is just Dookie.
Christopher?
I'll say 1, the Bucks. They were the 1 seed. 2, the Celtics. Philadelphia, Cavs, and then us. That's realistic, right there. Then it's like, I guess you could say like the Nets as a 6 seed, 7 seed. I'll say the Hawks and the 8 seed, the Bulls.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll say that right there. For sure.
Honestly, I'm not biased. I don't want to say the Heat should be number 1. I don't think so at all. I'm also not biased. I think the Boston should easily be 2. Milwaukee 3, but that could be shaky. Honestly, they had a horrible playoff performance. And we're talking about power rankings. But we'll give it to them 3. 4. I do want to say Philly, but I don't want to say Philly because the whole turmoil thing there. But they're gonna probably base it off playoff performance. They did go against the Celtics and took them to 7. So I'll give them 4. 5, Cavs. Actually, I switched. Cavs go before them, so switch that. 6, I do want to say that Nets are better than the Knicks in my opinion. They have this new team that they're building up looks very promising. Nick Claxton was a top 3 for defensive player of the year if I'm not mistaken. So they have a nice team right there, young too as well, and they got a good amount of picks. 7, I say Hawks probably, and then
Mm-hmm.
8, 8, 9, and 10 could really be Pacers.
No, just give me 8.
I say it's really a toss.
I give it to the Pacers maybe. Nah, not even.
Cool.
I feel like you got to watch out for Orlando because they're building a team there.
See, I do like to think about that.
I like
Yeah.
I like the young brother Franz. You know what I'm saying? He's good. Paulo evolving as a player. You still got the nice point guards and Suggs and Fultz, even though he's rejuvenate his career. So I mean, like,
Pedro Banchero, Team USA right now.
I like to see where this I like to see Florida take over in the playoff stands. Even though I'm not a fan of the Orlando Magic, we like to see our little bros. We like to see our little bros succeed.
All right, my power rankings for the East. I'm not gonna give any explanations, just the team names to make this speed up a little bit. One at Miami. No, I'm playing. It hurts to say that too. No, I'm playing. One. This hurts to say, but I have Boston at 1. Boston. Then I have Milwaukee. Then Philadelphia. So I guess me and Dilo have the same top 3. Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Then I have Cleveland and Miami. That could be replaced or not. Then Cleveland, Miami. Then I'll have the Knicks, Brooklyn, and don't sleep on Chicago. That team is still a team to watch.
It's got some promise.
Even though they finished 9th spot, every season is different. Yeah, Milwaukee finished like a lower seed just 3 years ago, whatever. They were not that good of a team, but good chemistry comes a long way.
They didn't do much in the free agency, so I don't know, man.
Right. So that's my power rankings for the East. I said Miami again to be 4, Cleveland 5, or Cleveland first, then Miami. Knicks, Nets. So the two New York teams, 5, 6, 6, 7 around there, and then Chicago / Atlanta at 8. Dilo, give me your West.
My West per se, I would say, number 1, Denver, of course. Number 2, I might have it. I don't even remember how the West playoffs went, but number 2,
it was very close in the standings. Very close.
Number 2, I would have to give it to the Warriors. We did try and count the Warriors out multiple years, and they won it in 2022. I mean, they did light work of the Celtics, so you really can never count them out. Number 3, I have the Clippers, Kawhi and PG. They should be getting healthy. Ty Lue did say they were cracking down on them. Like, you need to take the regular season more serious. So I do have the Clippers up there. Now that Marcus Smart is up there, no, I'm not gonna put him that high. That's blasphemy. Let me see. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with the Lakers. I mean, they have LeBron on the team. You can never count out LeBron. I mean, granted, he is getting old, but you to this day, even though he's 38, going on 39, you still expect him to be carrying a team. Anthony Davis should be healthy, so do with that what you will. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with the Pelicans. They were the first seed in the beginning of the season. Zion's coming back. I have a lot of respect for Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is a great mid-range player, great skill player, so I got them at 4. Number 5, I'm gonna go with the Kings. You can't count the Kings out. They did great. They took the Warriors to 7. Real close 7 at that. What was that? Number 5. Number 5, I would have to say. Number 5, I'll have to say Oklahoma City. They have,
Wow.
like your deck said, they have Chet coming back. What's
Okay.
number 1 pick?
Yeah, was
He
your number?
He's definitely gonna fight for the Rookie of the Year
Exactly.
award. That's one
I think
thing.
it was 2 or 3.
He's definitely a lottery pick.
Yeah, I know,
Definitely a
yeah.
lottery pick. They got Chet coming back. They have Shy. Shy played amazing this season, 30 points per game.
Yeah.
They have really well defense and Lou Dort and everybody else throughout the roster. So, number 6, I have the Suns. I mean, it's the Suns. What else can I say? I mean, choke artists. I mean, number 7, I'm gonna go with. Did I say the Mavericks yet? If
No.
Yeah, it
not,
was in the Mavericks.
throw the Mavericks in there. I mean, the
Mhm.
Mavericks didn't make the playoffs, but you would expect them to, considering they have Luka and Kyrie on the team. I expect them to build around those two pretty sooner than later. You know, they're not getting any younger. You know, that's how life works. So I should expect them to build a contending team around them. 8, I'm going to go with 8. I'm going to have to go with the Jazz. I mean, the Jazz did really well in the beginning of the season. Lauri Markkanen played his ass off for some reason. So yeah, I'm
Question:
Jazz.
Did you mention the Kings?
I did. I think I had them
I
at
think it was 4.
He had him 5.
Okay.
Five,
Okay.
something around there.
5 4. Yeah.
Christopher, you're up. Try to make it fast a little bit.
All right. 1, Nuggets. 2, I'll say the Suns. At 3, I'll put the Lakers. At 4, the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
At 5, the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
At 6, the Mavs. At 7, oh wait, I'll say the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies. I'll say the
Okay.
Grizzlies. And at 8, I'll put OKC there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 1, Portland. Now let me stop. Obviously, number 1 is Denver. Number 2, I would have to not easily. I would say the Phoenix as well. I like the squad there, and it's power ranking only, so it doesn't really matter. Number 3, I'd say I honestly put the Clippers there. Clippers, they have a nice squad. Then Lakers. Then the Kings. I'm missing somebody. Yeah. Then afterwards, I'll probably say I said the Kings. So next would be for me Memphis. I say Memphis. Memphis or New Orleans, but yeah, I say Memphis first. Right now, they're more together. So Memphis. Then afterwards, we'll say that New Orleans and then Dallas, and probably then OKC in the end. If that's 8 or 9, but I'd say OKC in the end.
All right.
This was developing. So
All right. For me, my 8, obviously, gotta give my respect to Denver at 1. 2, I do have Phoenix, the powerhouse. I don't care if they're choke artists, but they have scoring. They have defense, I believe, as a team you need defense. And I think they'll figure it. I think they'll figure it out. So they will be number 2, at least in the early start at number 2. 3, I do have Lakers. 4, I have Clippers. 5, I have the Kings. 6, I have Golden State. 7, I have Minnesota. And 8, I have. Let's see what team I didn't mention yet. 8, I'm gonna put the. Oh my God, Dallas. Yeah, I'm not sure why I forgot Dallas, but I'll put Dallas. I'm gonna switch Dallas and Sacramento. I'm putting Dallas at 5, Sacramento at 8.
Whew.
Yeah. I mean, again, Sacramento did play amazing, but they're coming back from this huge playoff drought. Every season is different. Every team changes. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. But I do think Sacramento is going to be 8, around the lower seeds. Okay.
where you got Portland, man?
Yeah. We have come to the last segment where originally we were going to discuss Embiid to Miami, but since we have passed the hour mark, I'll make this short and sweet. I'm going to give you guys a question, yes or no, and very short reasoning for why you say that, okay? So, Dilo, start with you. Do you think Embiid will land in Miami in the near future? Yes, no. Why not? Try to make it short.
No, honestly, I don't. Um, Granted, everybody loves Miami, everybody loves the market, but I feel like we don't necessarily have or want to give up Embiid type assets.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I wouldn't want to give up Embiid type assets just for the way he performs in the playoffs. Granted, he's a good regular season player, but I really wouldn't want to give that type of future up for the yes or no maybe.
Christopher?
All right. If we can get Embiid, I would say no. I'm not trading for Embiid. He chokes in the playoffs. He tries so hard in the regular season, and that's why he gets fucking injured in the end, you know. I'm not trading Bam for him. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Never in a million years.
No, I'm not doing it.
The deck?
So, given that his contract ends at 2026, we can't really get him in the FA. So, trading for him for me, honestly, is not an option, especially when you have to give up so much. If his contract was shorter, I would say wait, but it's clearly he has a player option a little later, so that's going to take time. He's going to get older, so I don't believe it would be great to trade for him. Honestly, I don't want to give up everything that we already accomplished, basically, and the system that we have is pretty nice. So I guess I wouldn't do it, honestly.
All right. For me, I think we're all in agreement. I'm also going to pick no, but despite the rumors of Knicks and Miami watching what's happening in Philadelphia, the whole situation between Harden and Embiid, yes, we know Embiid's friendships with Jimmy Butler. They're BFFs for life, whatever. So I would say that I don't want to trade for him because we have to give Bam, and we have to give half of our team, probably, which I don't want because we don't have much picks. So we have to give some a bench, which I prefer not to right now because I want to see how they play, first of all. And also, um, we don't know how this could affect the team, the chemistry and whatnot. And the only way we could realistically get Embiid is if he asks out, like Dame's doing, the same way. If he asks out, only to Miami. And if we want Embiid, we obviously would be able to tell to Philadelphia what package that we can give them, and they wouldn't really have much of a choice because again they will be in the same situation like Portland is with Dame. Do you really want to go on with the season with another disgruntled All-Star and Embiid? Because you already have Harden doing this whole mess. Do you really want Embiid to do that also? Two superstars making you uncomfortable in your team. So I would say I don't want to trade for him unless he asks out only for Miami, and if we could offer very small package, which they won't take obviously because it's Embiid. So I don't want him unless he does a Dame situation. But that's me.
Let's not get it wrong, man. He's nice. Don't let's not pretend like
A
he
great
wasn't
player.
just. He's
No,
a
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
fantastic player.
Oh,
And
yeah, he's nice, but
just
Bam's younger. He's faster. If he could somehow enable that 3-point shot, he could potentially be a better player as well,
I
in
like
my
Bam
opinion.
too.
All right. So, any other comments about any that we talked about on the stream? Schedule wise, power rankings, teams to beat. Anything else to comment on?
do your job, Cronin. Do your job, Cronin.
Yes. Oh, which reminds me, I did hear rumors. There was rumors to coming out that from 5 Reasons Sports saying that Miami and Portland are no. I'm sorry, my train of thought just vanished for a second. All right, so a member of 5 Reasons Sports told me in my group chat that he's optimistic that Portland and Miami will return to healthy negotiations. Who knows when that will be? Now, training camp deadline, no one knows when that's going to happen. But he's optimistic that negotiations will take place, and they will go like a lot deeper than they previously were. So that's that. And the teams to watch in the free agency: Christian Wood and Kelly Oubre Jr. Both players are willing to take the vet minimums to join Miami. But obviously, we got to figure out what happens with Dame, Nurkic, and to see what spots need to be filled in our roster first. But other than that, that's been your weekly update on the team, the Heat, NBA wise. This has been episode 7. Stay tuned for episode 8 next week. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot more drama to get to, a lot more news. We'll make something up if we have to. But thank you guys for joining. It's been a pleasure. This podcast did go longer than I expected, which is obviously a huge praise. Thank you guys for joining. And see you next time for episode 8, guys.
He and 4.
See you.
All right. Thanks, guys, for